Hello there. We're going to be going over the Finnish late war Doctrine units. We're going to start off with all round and go from there. First off, we've got the command squad. Command squad as a first column is not very good. The real power in this lies in the two officers you get. Well, one officer in each column, and that's useful in as you head towards late game for the attrition warfare to hold points, and if you need vision, that's so a lot of value there in the vision and the capture point for 5 DP, especially with the support infantry. Can't go wrong. I'm going to put it in low A. So command squad wouldn't be my first call in. It's useful once the game goes long, and then you can utilize those officers to spot for your RD or for your tanks, and then also capture points. So handy to have 4 officers. It's pretty nice. Next we have the T50 captured. I really like the T50 captured. The double machine guns have extremely good rate of fire and are extremely accurate. As a first column, it's really good. You're pretty. It's one of the best first call-in tanks for what it's competing against as a anti-infantry vehicle, and as a it does moderately well against enemy tanks, but it's pretty low pen and pretty horrible accuracy. But you're also fighting things that also have bad accuracy, so it's usually pretty good. I'm going to put it in low B tier. I like it mainly as an infantry support weapon. Next, we have the flak gun. I used to like this, but it serves the same purpose as the T50, but has less pen. And these double machine guns almost do the same kind of job, so it's overlapping. It's more expensive, open top. If you get a good position here, this probably can outperform, because if you can get a high position where the flak can burst a little more, you'll definitely have more killing power. But overall, this is a lot more versatile. So I think the flak goes into C tier. Definitely usable, but I think it deserves to be in C tier, and the T50 is superior. Next, we have the KV, and then this is a tank that Finland really struggles with fighting enemy tanks, and then this tank just doesn't support that, and it also isn't really good enough to fight off infantry hordes. So it's left in a weird position where, yeah, the tanks coming out of phase 2 are not going to be able to kill it, and it's not going to be able to kill them. And then there's other, if you're just trying to kill infantry, there's better options. So it's really in this no man's land of usefulness. If it was tier 1 and maybe 10 points higher, then maybe we could say, oh, that's a guy, you can do these early cheeses with it. But right now, it's not very good. It doesn't really answer a lot of problems that the Finnish have fighting enemy tanks. So I'm going to put it in D tier. It is high D tier. It's not completely useless. Like, you will be able to, if the enemy doesn't, if the enemy chooses stuff that can't pen it, you will be able to have a small area of influence where you have fire superiority, but overall, not very good. RD signaler, pretty standard. Standard RD signaler. I mean, every faction's basically the same RD signaler. It's B tier, which means it's good. Nothing wrong with it, but it's B tier. Next, we have the 84 field gun. This thing sucks horrible. It is extremely good range for phase 2, so you've got a really good range gun for low amounts of DP, but the problem is the payload is tiny and the reload is huge, and those combinations aren't very good. So it's good at sniping. If the enemy goes RD or other emplacements, you'll be able to counter hit those real good, but even then, the accuracy is not good, and the payload is just minuscule. So you have to get a direct hit, and the reload is so big. I don't like this thing very much. I think it's going to go into also with the KV D tier. I mean, use it. It's not like useless, but I would say it's pretty mid D, not high D. Like the KV is high D. This is probably mid D. Its bigger brother here is actually a compelling choice. 65 DP, and you've got a pretty big payload. Almost the same reload time on this guy. I'm going to put him C tier. Does come out phase 3. Usually when you're going to want to be using RD anyway. Heavy RD is when like the attrition warfare is really setting in. And this will help with counter battering and all that stuff. Super low reload time, but the payload is pretty good. JSU or ISU, whatever, is going to go in S tier. Absolutely necessary for the Finns to be able to fight off enemy tanks. Yeah, it's an S tier vehicle. Extremely good reverse speed. Able to just poke out and just shred stuff with its high explosive. Make sure you're just only using the high explosive, but pretend the AP shells don't exist. They're completely useless. Not useless, but vastly overshadowed by the high explosive. So it's completely necessary. If you're going this doctrine, I'd probably buy 2 of these, and then everything else just try to maybe a couple command, and then maybe squeeze in a T50 in. But yeah, you'll probably want 2 of these. And then the 155. Honestly, I have trouble. These two operate very similarly. This I think has a little less range, but more payload. But honestly, I don't like any towed arty, just because it is so similar to the 120. We'll go here. I mean, you're trading a little bit of payload for range, so it's up to you. But low C, these don't perform that good. Next, we have the engineer squad. Um, for the amount of men you get for 5 DP, or we're on to the defensive doctrine as well. For the engineer squad, you're getting quite a few men for 5 DP, but they're not exceptionally good, and all the defenses in the game really aren't balanced very well, so you won't need them very often. Some niche situations where there's big open fields where maybe you can get some sandbags down, because you usually don't want to have to spend the manpower to buy like a 2-man squad. So this can help with that, to get some sandbags down, and then have some just infantry mass. Or if it's a real crowded map, I think these guys get C4, but I'm not 100% sure about that. But I think they do, and if they did, then any kind of urban environments, you can use them as suicide bombers. So that's pretty cool. But overall, I think they're mid-level C. Usable infantry for 5 DP is fair, so it's not a horrible deal. Next, we get the flak cannon. I'm real partial to any flak that have shielding on them. If they don't have shielding, it's so easy for them to just get shot out. The 3 or 4-man crew here, it's just the survivability is so low that I'm the more I play, the less I like these, because it's just, it just takes one MG, like a squad automatic weapon to decrew this, and then you're in a big trouble. They're gonna take it from you, and then everything swings around. So I don't like these very much. I think these are low C. Yeah, I think that's fair. Next, heavy engineers. These things are horrible, absolutely horrible. Fun for role playing, but not any use. The AT guns they make take so long to create, and they're just it's not powerful enough. Any kind of indirect fire can kill them. They also have some really issues with aiming down. So if you put them on flat level terrain, they'll do okay. But if you're lower than the enemy, they can't. Or the enemy can engage you super easy. And if you're higher, the guns don't have any transversal downward. So pretty useless overall. Takes forever to get set up, and they just die so quickly. I think these are unusable and more just for fun. Next, we've got for phase 2 defense, we've got the 120. I absolutely love this thing. It has a crazy good range, and it comes in right at the time where you need stuff for the attrition war. For Finns, you need to basically be, instead of fighting tanks with head-on, you're going to have to clear the infantry screens, and this thing is perfect for that. Able to counter battery stuff, has a nice reload, is towable too. That's a great thing. So this thing's awesome. This thing's high A. I really like this thing a lot. It's great. Next, we got the 75. Phase 2, this thing it's perfectly priced. This thing's going to go in C tier, because it's just, if this thing was 5 lower, it'd be pretty good. And if it's just, you're able to engage tanks at 120 with APCR, but it's just, it doesn't do anything too special. And at phase 2, you're starting to face stuff that it just doesn't perform super well. You'll have like a 30% win rate, so it's it's against stuff of its tier, so it's okay. It's gonna go in right in mid C tier. I think it's like pretty perfectly balanced, honestly. Like I kind of wish it was 5 lower, but it's pretty well balanced, so it's okay. Next, we got the field guns here. I don't like either of these very much. Same problem with these guys here. You're basically choosing. You can save up and wait for phase 3 and go for the longer barrel, more accurate, more range, more payload, or higher reload, and they both perform about the same. I don't like any of these towed arty. They don't perform well to changing circumstance. So I'm gonna put them in low C, both of them. I don't really like them either. This new arty they added, I don't like it either. It's really high payload, but I mean, you don't need giant payloads, because if you're facing someone good, they're not gonna be grouping up anyway, so it doesn't even matter. Like, this is overkill for payload. Like, it's accuracy. Like, you have to find a good middle ground where this the 122 here is so low payload that it can't kill anything, but this thing is going to kill overkill. So it's but you're spending so much for it. Why not just go for something that has a better overall performance that can get the job done, but just barely get it done, but for a better price. So it's also going to go low C. I don't really like it. Toad, this is okay. Yeah, the Nebel Warfare, awful D tier. Any kind of Toad rocket arty is so expensive for how vulnerable it is. You have to move it so close to the front line, and then you have such long to be counter batteried or pushed on, and it's so micro intensive. I don't like these at all. I think they're really bad. So it's going into D tier. I do not like them at all. Next, we're going to go to Irregular Doctrine, and we've got the small bomber. This thing's awesome. This is going to go S tier, absolutely necessary. Fucking ads. Look at all these ads everywhere. My God. Able to, if you track a tank, you can kill a tank even up to like super heavies. This will have a 30 to 40% chance to start an engine fire if you track them. So extremely good value. Able to hit emplacements that you decrew. Extremely important for finish because you really do need lots of anti-tank trickery. Basically need to track stuff and play real asymmetric. So bomber is perfect for that too. Once you've pushed past enemy screens, then you can track an enemy tank and then you bomb it. So that's basically the gameplay loop here is push past enemy screens with medium range arty, mortars, etc. And then hit a tank in the track with a Panzer Schreck or Faust and then bomb it. So next we got their Elite Sniper, which I'm definitely not going to try to pronounce. If you can get good value from him, it goes with everything. But if you can get a good value with him, it'll just go crazy. This will be like the best unit. You'll have like 60 kills in this guy, or he'll get hit with one mortar. So it's a real feast or famine, depending on your map. I know lots of little like sneaky spots where this guy can get 50 kills a game pretty easy. But if you don't know those spots, you're gonna have a hard time using him. And I would probably put him in B tier. He's better than average, but for 10 DP, I mean, it's pretty fair, and he does a good job. So I think B, like mid-level B, probably better. Like, yeah, right in the middle there. Looks good for him. Yeah. Next we got the this mortar here. This mortar recently got a big buff. It was 35 DP, and I thought it was fair. They put it down to 25 DP, and this thing is fucking crazy. I think this might be the best unit on the Finnish roster, and that's not a joke. What the fuck? Get over there. There we go. Why this thing is so good is because it has such a big payload where you need it most. Like those big arties that shoot from long ways away and have crazy long reloads, they're nice, but they don't have the trajectory that you need usually, and the reload speed is so horrible. With this, you've got a crazy good reload speed. Like it's extremely good. It is an ammo hog. You'll need definitely want to invest in an ammo truck for it. Don't bother bringing crates. It'll eat through that real quick. But for 25 DP, you can have multiple of these, even if you're in a real urban map. And then it just as a fire support platform, it's really really good. You'll have a hard time not getting the value out of it. If you can get like 4 or 5 shots out, it'll pay for itself. So yeah, it should be 35 DP. I don't know why they put it down. It's the best unit in the Finnish. I mean, I wonder, it might even be a mistake because for 25 DP, it's absolute steal. Next, we're gonna go on to their commandos. You can do some kind of interesting cheeses with their commandos. They're pretty good at like long range. What you should do is put them on return fire, and then with their stealth, what happens is the enemy will get into their optimal range and then start shooting, and then as soon as the fight's like, they'll win every infantry fight because they're commandos obviously, and then they'll go stealth again, and then that way they'll be untargetable by automatic firing fire support. So that's a little cheese for you. Another really good thing about them is their health allows them to tank hits from heavy arty, like even real big arty. So that's extremely powerful, especially on the front lines mode. These are really good on the defense because basically if you just have access to healing there, they'll take an arty hit and just keep healing and healing. You can pull them back and get more bandages, and basically they're invincible to arty because one shot won't kill a single guy. So pretty powerful. I think they're also going to go into B tier with their sniper buddy. Well, it's very laggy. There you go. All right, so they're pretty good. B tier, I think, is fair for them. Niche, and they don't have any anti-tank capabilities, which sucks. But niche defensive infantry, but and high skill cap 2, you can waste them pretty easy. But and they're a little expensive, but that's why they're B. Next, we got the prototype anti-tank gun. This thing is pretty darn good. It's got extremely good pen. It does have some idiosyncrasies that we're going to go over. Its pack up and moving time is horrendous. So its repositioning is almost impossible. So that's a really big concern, and you'll notice how, oh my god, this thing just will not reposition because it takes literally like 6 seconds for it to pack up and move. So if you find a good position for it and make sure that the shot counts, because moving it's going to be a real pain. Another good thing is it has a super low profile. The guys are real low to the ground, and the angle of the armor plate is pretty good. I don't even know if that would ricochet many shots, but potentially it could. So really good pen. Be very careful with it because, like I said, the moving it's a real pain. But it's really good, almost necessary for a lot of the tank fighting you have to do. So I think it's going to go low A tier. The negatives are pretty negative. That is a pretty big negative, the repositioning, but it's got extremely good pen. Some of the best pen I think of any emplacement. Maybe 88 has more, but I'm not sure. But very good. Next, the bigger bomber. Also, it's going to go A tier. A little less. You're not getting as much value as the smaller bomb, because 3 of these would probably kill more heavy tanks than the big one. Big one's almost 100%, but this one is 30. So if it can do other stuff at 10 DP. So it's a little less value, but it's a guaranteed kill. Super necessary for Finns. They need a way to kill heavy tanks, so absolutely necessary if you're going to regular. Make sure to save some DP for the heavy bomber. Another Toad arty. Man, these things just I don't think justify their costs in small games, 1v1s and 2v2s. So I think they're going to go low C as well. New mortar here. I haven't had a ton of time to test this thing out, but I don't think it's very good. It's competing with the 120 here, and that you get from phase 2, and well, it does have a lot of range, and it can be used for counter battering. Really, what you like as Finns, you've won the counter battery game already. So what you need is something to clear the enemy infantry screens, and the 120 and the Meinwaffen or whatever the fuck this thing is called does that way better. So for that reason, I think it's going to also go low C. If you compare it to those, and for the DP cost, I'd just rather have something that can kill infantry and get me close to those enemy tanks. I don't need to be killing enemy emplacements as Finns. I need to kill those infantry, push up, and then disable tanks and then bomb them, basically. So it's going to go into low C. Next, we have the MG bunker. This thing's pretty cute. You can find some interesting spots for it. Super map dependent, and then also much better in like team games where you can lock down an area. Super cheap. Like that's a completely fair price for what you get. A lot of people don't know how to deal with it either. I think I'm gonna put it in high B. I think it's pretty niche, but for the price, you can get some pretty good value from it. It's good area denial, and it also lets you set tempo because then the enemy has to get something to deal with it, and as long as you're ready to deal with that, then you can kind of shape the battle space. So that's nice about that. Next, we got this pack gun. Having a pack like this coming in phase 1 is pretty nice. It is heat shell, not super low range, but I think it's like 180 or 170 range, so extremely, well, for a pack, extremely low range. But coming in phase 1, what you're fighting is not going to be able to stand up against this thing. So if you position this smartly, where the enemy won't be able to fight you unless they're in that range, or if you're in a close combat scenario where you can, if the ranges are at 100 meters, this thing is great. This thing can be good all the way up to almost towards endgame. This and also works as a pretty good anti-infantry platform too. I like this thing a lot. I think this thing is low A. Different use case here, obviously, than the higher pen one here, but yeah, it also takes a lot of skill to use. Like if you just put this in open field, you're just gonna be outranged by everything, and it's gonna die. So you really have to position it well, just like everything in the Finns. It takes a lot of skill to make sure everything comes together, but it's good. It's low A. Next, we got the 100 millimeter mortar here. I don't like this thing at all. We're comparing it to the 120 here. Phase 1, you really don't need a mortar. The attrition warfare hasn't really set in, and you want to be building your infantry screens up and kind of fighting the tank first, tank battle. And really, there usually isn't. Everyone's not dug in enough for a mortar to be useful. And then this one is 25 DP compared to the 120, which is 30. So you're just getting so much more value, like double the range, higher payload. So this thing, I think, if we have to compare it to the 120, I think this thing is actually D tier. Probably not low D tier, but it's usable. But It's not very good, so it's going to go low D or mid D. Just doesn't matter. It's D tier. No, I wouldn't buy it. Source Light is another cute. Finns have all kinds of cute units. For team games, it's okay. You can get some vision, but usually you kind of know where your enemy is, and a scout that's like 100 MP can kind of solve that problem usually. So I think this thing's cute, but it's low C. It's not very useful in any kind of small games. I wouldn't ever buy it really. Next we got the Panzer IV with some infantry. Normally I wouldn't rate this thing as high, but the Finns really need a main battle tank, so this thing is going to go into mid-tier A. The guys that it comes with are commandos, real good, lots of grenades, satchel charge grenades, which are good against infantry and tanks. I like this thing a lot. 40 DP is pretty fair, especially with the infantry that you're getting, and the Finns just desperately need a main battle tank, so just because they have no other options, it's a lot higher than it would be. If this was on Germany, it'd probably be, high C, but, excuse me, Finns just desperately need a main battle tank to have mobility on the battlefield. So, I mean, there's really nothing else that performs like this. So it's for the Finns. So very good. And I'm just looking down at the rest of the stuff here, and wow, this stuff is all very bad. Another Toad Arty, Rocket Arty specifically, horrible, horrible. The micro to fire, move to position, manually control to aim, wait until it's in its target, fire, pack up, move, reload. It's so much APM is required for, for what? A couple of missiles that most of them are going to miss. I don't like these very much at all. 70 DP is a little bit of a steal. And I'd rather have the smaller missiles and pay a little less, because this is 90 DP for Toad Rocket Arty is pretty expensive. And the rest of these are just Toad Arty. Again, it's all fucking the same. It's all for team games. So if you're playing team games, these will be a lot better. And this is wannabe Calliope here, but you're paying for, supposedly you're paying for this armor that doesn't stop. It's not going to stop anything. I don't even think this will stop a anti-tank rifle. The gun is useless, and the rockets are good, but unlike the Calliope, you only get one barrage, so you can't you oversaturate whatever you're shooting. It is nice to have mobile rockets, but so it's much better than the Toad ones, but still not very good. I'm going to put it high as C tier. It's a wannabe Calliope, but Calliope can defend itself. The Calliope's, actually got armor and a moderately okay gun. So I mean that's what you're getting, and the double ability to fire 2 salvos is really big. So this thing's not great, but for Finnish we don't have a lot of mobile rocket artillery, so this has to do. There's no other option. So this is my tier list for the late war Doctrine units. I hope you enjoyed, and goodbye.